My name is Mary Turner, and this is my story, my testimony. I've always believed in God, felt His presence, but I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I didn't go to church every day. I was saved and baptized at the age of 12, but it wasn't until my college years that my faith grew stronger. Looking back, my dad was a coal miner. My mom was a housewife. My parents did their very best to take care of my family. I have an older sister who has special needs, and I have a twin sister. Times were hard. We struggled often, but it wasn't until high school that I really learned the value of a high school diploma and a college degree. My dad was laid off from his only job in the coal mines. Our family vehicle got repossessed. Times were hard. Unemployment paid for the basic essentials, and I saw my dad firsthand struggle to look for a job. No one was going to hire him without a high school diploma. Fortunately, he was able to get into a GED program, and the local school board hired him as a janitor at my local high school. I'm very grateful for him and everything that he provided. But I really saw the struggle, and me and my sister really learned that we really need to go to college. We really need to focus and get good grades and get into college. The only thing holding us back our senior year when we was looking into college was money. College was so expensive. And it wasn't until one day, and I remember this day very clearly, Sean Dammer, the director of admissions from Alice Lloyd College, came to my school. And now keep in mind, my school is 2.5 hours away from campus. I don't know, he talked to a bunch of us that day, but he also pulled me to the side and I talked to him, and he told me about the opportunities Alice Lloyd College had to offer. And I don't know, I feel like God put people in your paths for a reason, and that day he put Sean Dammer in my path so that I could, learn about the opportunities at Alice Lloyd and take advantage of it. As I was getting ready to start college, a local church sponsored me. I've never been to this church. I didn't know anything about this church, but somehow they found out I was going to college and that I needed a little help. So they sponsored me. They bought my refrigerator, microwave, bedding, pillows, comforter, anything I needed for my dorm room. They provided it for me. And little did they know that day that they planted a seed that would continue to grow, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, how that seed grew and grew, and something amazing come from it. So my sister and I decided to go to Alice Lloyd College. They offered us a full tuition guarantee scholarship. We were only left on a little bit, and we took advantage of the work study program. We worked additional hours to help us pay for our bill, and we were able to both graduate at Alice Lloyd College debt-free. At my time at Alice Lloyd College, my faith did grow stronger. Things happened, and people that came in my path planted those seeds to, encourage my faith to grow stronger. I feel like God puts people in your path for a reason, and God put many people in my path that I feel like my college years that my faith grew stronger. One of them being my future husband at the time, but we'll talk about that. Another person is President Stepp. My sophomore year, he requested me to work in his office, and little did he know that he planted a seed. I would hear stories often how God has changed his life, how God has provided for his family, and he's so strong in his faith. I saw that while working in his office, and that definitely planted a seed in me, and I realized, maybe I should trust God more and know that he's going to always provide for me. So that planted a seed, and at the end of my sophomore year, I was working. I decided to get a car, and with a car comes with extra expenses. I was working 3 part-time jobs. I worked at a local doctor's office as a receptionist. I worked at the gas station down the road as a clerk, and then me and my sister started our own tutoring service. I guess you can say we were entrepreneurs. We decided to it was not babysitting, but decided to tutor students at the Jim McCannon School. After school, we would help them with their homework, take care of them until their parents were able to pick them up. So among all those jobs, I was able to provide for myself, my wants and needs. At the end of my sophomore year, President Stepp approached me with a full-time position in the missions office. I was very excited because I love the college, and I knew that a part of me knew that I wanted to stay here or do something. I really didn't know what God had in store for me, but I knew that I needed to be here. And so I took advantage of the job, and that was in May of 2008. In a missions office, we see students first. We hear the stories first. We know where they come from. And I definitely have a big heart for this campus. I have a big heart for the students. And I know their stories, and I know where they're coming from. I feel their passion. They want an education. They want to be successful, because I was once in that seat too. I wanted that education. I wanted to be successful. I didn't want to always be poor. And there's nothing wrong with being poor, but I don't know. I knew I always wanted more. And Alice Lloyd College gave me that opportunity, that I want to make sure that we can provide to those other students in our area and let them know that you're not just a number here, that you're part of a family. We're here to take care of you and help you every step of the way. One of the things I have started here at Alice Lloyd is like an outreach program. As students come here, especially their freshman year, if they need anything, a comforter, sheets, towels, a refrigerator, we help provide that for them. We get donations and ask people in the community to help, and everybody comes together and help provide for these students. I feel like they have their basic needs met. That's one step closer to getting the education. That's making them feel comfortable, making sure that they have that confidence they need to be successful. Another thing that we started, and we've done a lot of things, my husband and I have done a lot of things on campus, but just to name a few, was one of our outreach programs that we developed over the summer. It's a program to help summer workers, and this is something, it really made me trust God even more than I already had before, because God provided. My husband had this ideal to provide meals for students during the summer, but he also wanted to minister to them. We have usually about 100 summer workers typically, and there's no food provided here on campus except the cafe, and that's something they have to pay for. So my husband had the ideal, let's provide a dinner and talk about God one night each week. And I was like, well, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to pay for this? Because we're not rich. And he's like, I don't know. But he felt so strongly of God telling him to do that. We did it. We were obedient. We followed what we thought God was telling us to do, and he provided. And so that summer was taken care of. We were able to minister to students. We had several students get saved. And that was in our little apartment. We had 30 plus kids, and it was just amazing to experience that. And then the next summer I was thinking, okay, God, how are we going to provide for this? And I don't know why I questioned God, because he did provide. I mean, again, my faith grew even more stronger during these events, that I know if I fully trust God and obey him, he's going to provide. So I'm very grateful, and every summer after that, God has always provided. I've never had a question where the money is going to come from. He's provided. My heart is so big for the campus. I just know that God's not finished. This isn't the end of my story. He has so much more planned for me. I'm very excited to just see what the future lies ahead, and I'll definitely give God all the glory for everything he does. And I'm so thankful and blessed that I have a family, and that we can, I guess, take this journey together.